Thank you all for joining us today's media briefing, where we will outline some of the processes leading up to the inauguration of the President. The government would once again like to thank all South Africans for contributing to the success of the 2014 general elections. We reiterate our sincere thanks to all the voters, the Independent Electoral Commission, the Department of Home Affairs, the country's security agencies, and observer missions for their positive contribution as we celebrate the election and the 20 years of our freedom and democracy. In view of queries we have received about the functioning of government in the period after the election, we wish to emphasize that it is work as usual for the national executive in terms of our constitution. This inauguration is happening as we celebrate 20 years of freedom. It is during this time that we remember our first democratically elected president, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, taking his oath of affirmation, which changed the country forever. Government wishes to confirm that the inauguration of the president will take place on Saturday, the 24th of May, 2014. The National Assembly, in terms of the Constitution, will convene for its first sitting on Wednesday, the 21st of May 2014, where members of Parliament will be sworn in. This will be followed by the election of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly and the President of the Republic. The Constitution prescribes that the President be sworn in within 5 days of being elected by the National Assembly. It is with this in mind that the inauguration will be held at the Union Buildings on Saturday, the 24th of May. We expect that the inauguration will be attended by thousands of people, of whom 4,500 will be accommodated in the Nelson Mandela Amphitheater at the Union Buildings. The remaining guests will be accommodated on the southern lawns below the Union Buildings, while other members of the public will be able to follow the proceedings via live television broadcast and radio broadcast and public viewing areas at 47 sites throughout the country. The guest lists have been finalized and all invitations have been sent out. The 4,500 guests in the Nelson Mandela Amphitheater will include members of Parliament, representatives of provincial governments and municipalities, representatives of communities of faith and civil society organizations, former heads of states and government, and eminent persons. Details will be provided in due course on the processes of accreditation of invited guests. Confirmations of attendance will also be provided in due course as guests are still responding to the invitations which have been issued out. Guests are expected to collect their accreditations as from the between the 21st and the 22nd of May. All guests must arrive between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. at the amphitheater. The swearing-in ceremony will take place at 11 a.m. Following the conclusion of the formal proceedings, guests will be entertained by cultural events which will take place on the southern lawns. Details of all logistics, including park and rides and road closures, will be announced next week. By the time the inauguration takes place, provinces would have elected their premiers and provincial delegates to the National Council of Provinces. And the NCOP will have had its first sitting on the 22nd of May. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, that Parliament is composed of the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces. The period ahead also creates the opportunity for South Africans to reflect, after very competitive and robust electioneering, on the strength and integrity of our democracy. We look forward to these coming milestones being as well managed as the election process itself, and hope that South Africans will derive new hope and optimism and energy for an even better future from these important national events. I thank you.